Hey everybody, my name is Mike and welcome to Optimum Pro Coat Plus Full Detail with Father and Son. So disclaimer right off the bat, this is not a sponsored video for Optimum, nor were the products given to us or donated to us. We paid for them out of our own money. Speaking of products, everything we used is linked below. So what prompted this video is my son bought a 2004 Toyota Sequoia SUV, one owner car, predominantly garaged for most of its life, but it was a car wash car. And I don't mean hand wash, I mean automated car wash. So lots of surface scratch, spider webbing, and a ton of soap scum. And we go least aggressive to more aggressive until we found the combinations, which you're gonna see that actually worked extremely well. Also, I know it says full detail. We did do the interior. We did do the headlights. We did that at another time. That's not in this video. So all that being said, let's get to detailing. So we had decided before the wash that we were going to polish the glass out. The glass had a lot of stains and small scratches, not too many deep water spots. Anyway, my son's using hyper polish with a microfiber pad. And it worked, always works great. Here's the glass. You can see it. There's stuff in it. There's scratches, bird dropping, stains, that kind of stuff. And then we move on to the one that we polished. And there you go. Crystal clear. Worked absolutely phenomenal. Hyper polish and a microfiber pad. And here's the work all done. So the glass we finished, and then we rolled it out and started with the decon wash. So using the Optimum Touchless Decontamination wash, 4 ounces to 32 ounces of foam cannon, that's what we hit this with. So after foaming the entire car, we let it dwell for about 3 minutes or so, and then we rinsed it off. Just from foaming this and letting it dwell, it took a lot of junk off the paint, which was really good. Stuff works great. I love this touchless wash. Son helped me, so this goes along with the father and son video. We foam it again with the decon wash, and then we're going to follow this up with a contact wash using the same product. And a rinse. Now for final decon, we're both using clay towels. My son's using Ferrex on most of the car. I used O&R as a clay lube simply because the pinstriping on it was a little volatile, so I didn't want to use Ferrex on it. Then we do a final wash to make sure we get all the residue of the Ferrex and the O&R off the paint. Then of course we blow dry it to get everything out of the cracks, getting ready to polish and to coat and all that good stuff. Here's one of the wheels at their Ferrex. It wasn't horribly bad, but it was still there. You can see the purple. Then I gave it a good wash with Optimum car wash soap, the regular soap. Then a final rinse. So with the polishing, we started on the side, which it had a lot of scratch in it. And so a little spritz of O&R, 1 spritz of the hyper polish. And then we worked this in just to try to do a test spot to see, how good it was going to be. Then we spritz it down with some O&R to remove the compound. And we see what we got. So as you can see, that's what it was, and this is what it is with the one step, and it's still got some, not really clear, it's still kind of a little hazy. So we decided to do a bigger experiment. We masked off 2 squares on the hood. I did one with the yellow foam pad and hyper polish, and then my son followed up in the square next to it with a microfiber pad and hyper polish. and wanted to see what the difference was going to be. And you'll see coming up the difference in that section that, yeah, there's a difference between those two areas, but there's still, you can see a tape line even in there. There's still haziness in it. There's a tape line. So you can definitely see there's a better difference, but it still wasn't great. Wasn't great. So a good rule of thumb is not to go too aggressive right off the bat. So the hyper polish wasn't cutting it. So I brought out some hyper compound. We hit that with the yellow foam pad, and you can see, wow, there's a substantial difference between the two. Now there's still stuff in the paint because we're going to wind up two-stepping this thing. So we're going to use hyper compound first and then hyper polish to follow, both with the yellow foam pad. And you'll see the results here in a second with that already done. And that's the hood finally polished with a two-step. Hyper compound, hyper polish with a yellow foam pad. This light was absolutely hammered, so it was the top. As you can see, it came out beautiful. Then we wiped it down with paint prep, getting ready for the coating. So now applying the coating, it's a two-step process. The first one goes on, we put it on in a crosshatch pattern, and then waited for, like, if there was any high spots, like an oil slick look, and we wiped that down. Then we waited an hour, and then we put the second coat on. The second coat was mind-blowing. It just absorbed instantly in the surface. We didn't have to wipe it. Now it's time to pull this bad boy out in the sun and take a look at it. The gloss is absolutely phenomenal. In fact, it's so bright, you have to wear sunglasses to look at it. I mean, it's white. It's really white, super reflective. Looks absolutely gorgeous. It's amazing how this turned out. The guy that my son bought this truck from, his mind was completely blown. Here's how the wheel turned out. They're not perfect, but they got cleaned up. Ferrex did a great job. Here's the front end. Looks great. The grill came out good. As I said before, the headlights still hadn't been done. Look at these lower rocker panels. They just look beautiful. Car came out amazing. Well, welcome back, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. We had a lot of fun making it, and the truck speaks for itself. It turned out just amazing, and the Optimum products work phenomenal. So anyway, that being said, again, this was not a paid video, or was it sponsored in any way with products. And speaking of products, they are listed below in the links. Feel free to click on them anytime you wish. Also, your comments would be appreciated. Hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, all that good stuff on what you think. The father and son mission was accomplished or not. Anyway, we'll see you in a minute.